Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the GonzoEwok channel with me, Ewok,
And me, Gonzo.
for another episode of
Geordie
Space Program.
So, what are we doing this episode then, Ewok?
Well, the last couple of episodes have been quite expensive ones.
Certainly have. If we'll just recap, we sent up a space station which you destroyed.
Which I destroyed.
We sent up a replacement, and
We
they
did.
tried to dock something with it.
And we lost the ship that we docked with it.
We did.
We also, you said we sent up a replacement and then tried to dock with it. We sent two ships up to try and dock with it. Well, we sent one ship up. One of them exploded on the runway and exploded the runway. So that cost us around about 350,000.
Yeah.
Basically, in the last two episodes, we went from having close to 2 million. I think it was about 1.7, 1.8.
Yeah, we had over $1.5 million.
And we're down to 600,000. So what we need to do is get some
more
cash.
money.
More money.
Let's have a look then. Best way to do it, as I'm sure everybody knows by now, is with your contracts.
Now, we've still got this Roxor brand decoupler and flight over Kerbin thing going on.
Aye.
I thought we had another one. And maybe it ran out of time.
No, we used the other one, I think.
Did we?
Yeah, you took a couple of stupid ones. If you remember, a few episodes back, we took care of one of them.
Oh, okay.
And I think in one of our previous episodes, maybe not the last one, maybe the one before, you said, "Oh yeah, we'll take care of that," and then just did nothing about it.
Okay.
I was watching it back one Saturday morning, and then I was screaming at the screen.
Well, that's only worth $6,000, but it is worth 46 science. So I don't know. Let's see what else we got going on. Let's nip to the administration building. We could do a fundraising campaign. Deactivate that strategy. That's fine. So we could do a fundraising campaign. So that gets us funds by sacrificing reputation.
Well, the reputation doesn't really seem to do much at present, does it?
So how about we set a 50% commitment to the fundraising campaign? So it takes 50% of any rep we get from a mission and gives us 8 funds.
Yeah, I think do it. Yeah,
costs us 263 rep to set up. I don't know how much rep we've got.
Find out shortly. Oh well, there we go.
Still in the green. So yeah, we've got a fundraising campaign going on.
Nice.
That's what we need.
It's kind of the theme of the episode more than anything else, isn't it? Get money.
Some missions. We're getting some interesting ones up here that we're going to have to pick up at some point.
Yeah.
I mean, they're worth money, but
just before we started recording, we've mentioned that we're going to start having to think about something like Eva Junior and maybe looking at
something a little interplanetary.
Yeah, we're kind of getting towards that. I mean, we've still got lots of stuff to do on the moon and in Minmus, but we'll have a bit of a look, I suppose.
Oh, absolutely.
All right.
So I'm looking at sort of things in flight over Kerbin. In fact, let's just look at the money. Let's look at things that give us lots and lots of money. That gives us 50,000.
What's that? Liquid engine, orbit and Kerbin.
We could do that.
Cool.
24,000. What's that? Splashdown at Kerbin. That's an S3KS25X4 engine cluster. That sounds heavy, doesn't it?
I think that's the really, really heavy, big, all-in-one jobbies.
Yeah.
One of those massive ones. Why do they want to test that splashdown?
But it's worth 24,000 and 206 science.
Yeah, but it'll cost a friggin' fortune. Have a look to see why. Does it say why they want us to test that in the water?
It seemed incredible for a visitor visiting Geordie that we had yet to live test to really know whether the rumours about our S3KS25X4 engine cluster really were as truly idiotic as we told everyone they were. It is true, though, that the weird frequency at which we found ourselves proving theories about how our S3 KS25X4
So it's to impress a visitor.
Basically, these seem to be cobbled together from sort of like stock text, so they never they don't often make a lot of sense. But that's fine. We can easily test that splashdown.
Just got to get it in the water and fire it.
And you don't actually have to fire it. You can just click on it.
The thing is, it weighs a ton, a metric F-ton.
Well,
so actually
look,
touching it down in the water is going to be...
It's a piece of cake. Let's do that one now, okay?
Right, okay. Then
We'll just do that one, and we'll get that one out of the way, and that gets us 250,000. So we're going to have to design a spacecraft around it. We're going to need some more astronauts, actually.
Yeah, after the past couple episodes, the white shirts are all gone now, aren't they?
Neddled's gone.
He's not gone, technically. He's just back in space where we found him.
No, Neddled blew up. Neddled was the one who was on the runway when it exploded. Neddled's dead.
Damn.
Sorry, bud.
Ned's dead.
Ned's dead.
Right, more...
Sean, Jenny, and Adbel.
Adable.
Adbel.
Get all of them. They don't cost anything yet. Apparently, I think the next update are talking about having it so the Kerbals' skills will play a part.
Oh, that's interesting.
So, like, if you've got a Kerbal that's got particular good skills in flying, it means that there might be a little bit more tolerance in what you can do, or the engines might be a little bit more efficient.
How can I put that on the runway when I don't have a... It's letting me put that on the runway, even though I don't have...
It could be, like, it's got a bit of a weird quirk because it's classed as a test part. It's not something we've unlocked yet.
Let's try and...
Ah,
I wonder if there's been another sneaky update while we've not been paying attention.
could have been.
This is what happens when I leave Steam on all day, every day.
It's worth pointing out that all being well, this episode will go up the week after Halloween. For us recording, Halloween was last night. Ewok, did you do anything nice for Halloween?
No.
Oh.
Did you?
Well, not really. I carved a pumpkin. That was quite good. Had quite a few trick-or-treaters. At one point we had like 20 kids all at the door. And they were all together. It was like an invasion, basically. I was absolutely terrified. I was just giving them all my sweets.
Yeah, I actually got some sweets in. Ashley got some sweets in, that's the missus.
Mm.
And we gave sweets out, which I don't normally do because...
Yeah, a Grinch.
I'm a Grinch, yeah. That's a good way of saying it. Do you think this will get rid of the water? Piece of cake. It cost for 41,000 and we'll get it all back.
The thing is, it said, like, didn't it say test? Oh yeah, you can just test it just by getting it there, can't you? This is a hellish thing that you're putting together.
I like putting together things specifically for the experiments because you come out with interesting designs that you'd never do elsewhere.
The 4-cluster engine, does that have any fuel reserve of its own? Or is it just going to drink those 800 tanks you've put on the outside?
That's got its own fuel.
Right. I mean,
who knows?
Can't imagine it would have much.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because we just need to test it. We just need to get it there. Now let's try that again because that went a bit...
I've got a good idea here.
Uh-huh.
You could tilt the whole thing at a 45-degree angle, and then you could get one of the the bits that you can lock on. I forget what you call them. The stability things. You know, the big girders that lock things in place while you're ready to launch.
Uh-huh.
Turn it to a 45-degree angle, pointing towards the water, and then just put one of those little gantry things on, and then it's already kind of pointing in the right direction. Then you just got to fire the thing.
Well, how do I know which way it's gonna...
That'll be the fun part.
Because I could end up completely facing the wrong way.
Well, then we'll just come back in and flip it over.
That's time wasted. This is more than enough to get us there, mate.
That would be good. That would be good. It would be like an episode of Jackass.
Yeah, but it'll never work out. We'll end up facing the wrong direction. You know it.
All right, don't know. Fair enough. Do what you got to do. Parachute's always useful, though.
Smart ass. Let's send Urzon. I like his name. I've been watching Defiance, and Urzon sounds like a name you'd get in Defiance.
All right.
You ever watched Defiance?
No, can't say I have. Saw it advertised, and they made a game to tie in with it, didn't they?
They did. They released them at the same time.
You played that a little bit. I remember you showed us. It seemed all right for a kind of. It's not usually my style of game. That kind of like sort of. It's not really an MMO, but sort of is.
It's like an MMO, but it's all shooty.
Aye.
Yeah, it was pretty good, but as with all MMOs, I eventually got bored of them. I just don't think it's my genre.
It's not mine either. To be fair, it's something I've never really played before. Just because it's never appealed to us. Like for me, they don't have enough curb appeal in the first place.
I mean, I recently tried to get into the Star Trek MMO because I'm a bit of a Trekkie.
Aye.
And again, I just kind of got bored of it. Because I'm unsociable, I like playing games with you when you're here and like we're together and we can chat in person.
It's very rare that even there's only a couple of games really we've played when I've been sitting across at my house and you've been here. We've played the Napoleonic mod.
Yeah, Mountain Blade.
Yeah,
I do love a bit Mountain Blade Napoleonic.
Aye, that is a lot of good fun. Really enjoy that. And I suppose the only other one we've had a few battles on Rome Total War 2. Total War Rome 2.
We have, but we used to play Battlefield Bad Company a lot.
Oh, aye.
Jeb's in this. I did take him out. So let's just hope he survives.
Right, get it towards the water. Oh, that should be alright.
See, I
probably wouldn't like fire at full throttle because there's no real need. It has loads of fuel as well. Jeez. Yeah,
see, I love these interesting designs you end up coming out with.
We should have used the new B9 cockpit just because we haven't used that before and it's new. You know, it's like the new thing on the menu. You want to have it even if it has no other purpose than just, yeah, that looks nice.
We'll have to come out a bit more so we don't end up being classed as on Kerbin's shores.
Aye. Well, it didn't really... It just said that you had to be splashed down, didn't it? So as long as we come down in the water...
If you're on the shores, it doesn't count as splashdown.
Oh.
Splashdown's a biome.
Ah, see, I've learned something.
So if I was to park it here, it would just say, and I did an EVA report, it would say you are landed at Kerbin's shores.
Aye. Oh well, so you've got to properly push yourself out into the water then.
I mean, this will probably be alright.
We shall soon see, I suppose. You could do a... I was going to say you could do a crew report to see what comes up.
Flying over Kerbin's water.
Nice.
3.5 signs. Super.
Might as well while we've got it. Suppose you could hop out and do an EVA once we're splashed down as well. Every little bit helps. Didn't think we were getting anything from the water before.
I'm not sure. I tend to try and avoid the water because the ships still seem to come apart quite easily on water.
Can do indeed.
Although with the speed like 9.5 we should be alright. I'll actually tickle it so we'll come in even slower.
Yeah, just to make sure.
Engines tend to be quite crash sensitive, and this ship is one giant engine essentially.
Aye, this is true. The other thing is as well, we're not getting...
You can see the old airfield over there.
We're not getting a huge amount of money for this, so even if we lost even say 2 of those engines, that's going to put a serious dent in the money we'd get for doing this.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, we want to get our money back really. We'll pay for the fuel and that's it.
Cool. Come back down. There, that's nice.
Just tickle it in about.
I hope there's no
6
issues with
seconds.
the engines being on as they hit the water. Ah well, don't have to worry about that.
There we go.
Oh,
and run
no.
test.
Hey, it's like a cork bobbing around.
Run test. Test is complete.
Nice.
So there we go. And
25 grand, bunch of science and a bit of rep.
we got an extra 60
That'll do.
from the fundraising.
Better
So
than a
no-
kick in the teeth.
And you say you fancy a little old EVA report from Jeb?
I mean, I wouldn't do anything too nuts, but there we go. There's an extra.
Hey. Oh, that counts as
50 sign.
flying over the water. Fantastic.
Cool. I wouldn't risk getting out into the water to get like a water sample or anything like that. A little bit of science, bit of cash. Jeb's back.
Doesn't seem like we've got that much more cash than when we went.
We had 619,000, I think.
I thought that contract was worth. That must have been 25. I thought it was 250.
Nah, it was a very small amount.
Hey, what a waste of time. Sorry, I must have
A
misread
lot
it.
of the testing parts, if it's something like that where it's dead simple, it's not like you've got to test it at a certain altitude.
I know that was it. That's why I thought it was quite a lot of money for what it was offering. But you know, money's money. We can get a small rocket for that. Test a structural pylon orbiting Kerbin. How do you get a structural pylon off the ground?
A structural pylon's just like a little winglet thing. It's like something, if you imagine,
Oh, yeah, that's right.
it's what you would attach like a bomb to or something on a fighter plane.
Well, that's worth 80k.
Take it.
We'll have
See,
that.
the reason that's worth more is because it relies on you getting in orbit before you can do it. You see, because there's a little bit more
Test
challenge
the stack
involved.
separator orbiting.
Cool, we can do that.
It's worth 91.
We want to double check the heights for these different orbits because obviously we want to see if we can do everything all together.
Turbojet in flight. Landed in flight, in space, on the moon.
I'll be honest, Ewok, a lot of these tests that are coming up are going to necessitate that we build ourselves a little jet or a little plane of some description. I'm thinking that's on the cards at some point. Maybe not this episode, but soon.
Okay, well, why don't we do all the ones that require us to be in orbit? And let's work out exactly what we need to do. And what height we need to get at. Do a little bit of research. So we've got the LV1 liquid fuel engine. We need to be orbiting between 82 and 95. The structural pylon, 77 and 90. 76, so about 80, 85k, and we'll be able to hit all 3 of these orbital ones. And that's the stack separator, LV1 and structural pylon.
Nice.
So let's get all these bits ready.
We could test that decoupler as well, you know, that just said flying over Kerbin. And maybe just attach it to the side or something like that and ping it off.
Just to get rid of it.
Aye, just so it's done.
So propulsion, we need the LV1 engine. What's the LV1? Is the LV1 like one of the tiny ones or something?
It's well, there's only one that's kind of that one.
That's the LV1. Okay. Brilliant.
Yeah, it's weird actually looking at propulsion there. Some of the engines were saying, "Oh, can't be used as the first part," and other ones it didn't have that restriction.
It was just the engines. It seemed everything that had fuel in it didn't have the restriction.
They'll probably need a little bit of fuel on them so we can test. Oh well, you can right click and test. I keep forgetting every time I test properly. Like I'll attach fuel to it and fire it. I forget you could just bolt it on and then say, "All right, we've run a test. It's fine."
And that's the structural pylon.
Put 2 of them on the side because they'll look nice. Like on the side of the cockpit. Just to get us started. A couple of them on. Just because look. I mean, I know they won't act as wings, but I like them.
So what's the difference between these stack separators and the decouplers?
Just the sizes, I think. That's like a smaller one.
That's the same size as a standard brand decoupler.
It's probably the ejection force. Oh, no. I don't know, actually. There doesn't seem to be any difference.
The decouplers eject in one direction.
Mm-hmm.
So they've got arrows on them. You can see the red arrows there.
Yeah.
So they eject in that direction, whereas the stack separators eject in both directions, pushing everything away from each other.
That's quite clever.
Okay.
So
I mean, I can't see exactly why that is necessary or useful.
Well, it's probably a rudiment. If you had those attached to, say, like something like a space station, I know that's probably dodgy because you wouldn't want to push your space station anywhere, but it probably just makes it a little bit safer. You know, it's just pushing those bits apart.
We've got like various things saved here that we could probably rely on. Oh, we've got an orbital craft. Can you remember that one? Did that used to work?
I think
the legs on that are terrible.
Yeah, we've got bigger legs now.
Absolutely useless.
I mean, it's called the Orbit Craft. Did it actually make an orbit?
I've no idea. Let's start again.
Just
right. You want to try the new cockpit just for fun?
Aye.
That one, the Mark II.
Yeah.
We'll get the Mark II one. Bit of a funny shape, isn't it?
It's nice, but it goes with a lot of the structural parts for the B9 parts. You know, it was originally a mod which put like sort of space planes and lots of nice plane parts
it's
into the game.
too big for our needs, mate. Too big for an orbit craft.
We're going to use that at some point though, because it looks mint.
Fair enough. I mean, when we're going into planetary, which should be soon, we'll do it then, eh?
Right, we get our structural pylons on the side of this, back to where we were 3 minutes ago.
Well, why don't we just build the crux of the rocket first?
Alright, and then we'll get our bits on. I see what you're saying.
We'll build like quite a standard rocket, I would think. We'll stick the stack separator on there.
Nice. So that's going to come back within that whole part.
That bit is, yeah. That's going to be our landing bit.
Right.
Actually, I did put an engine on there, didn't I? Yes, I did.
Mm-hmm. We've got the big legs you could put on just to help it with it landing as well. Nice. You could put the little... I'll tell you what you could do to test the... oh, no, it doesn't matter. I was going to say the little LV1 engines, you could put them facing the other way. So they'd be facing like kind of like up over on those structural pylons. Because then we could fire them. And then that would be kind of like the help by retro burn. But that wouldn't work because...
The structural pylons shoot off. Also, that doesn't want to attach to them.
Nah. Oh, well, yeah, that failed on all accounts, sorry.
Stick them on there, come on.
I'll tell you what.
No, because it needs to be on a proper bitty bit with things and.
You could use the little girders. Forgot what you called them, like the construction girders.
Absolutely, that sounds like a plan.
Aye, because let's be honest, like we were saying before, we don't need to fire them. We've just got to get them up there and test them at about 85 kilometres.
I think this rocket will probably get in orbit. I know it's a bit of an odd shape. It's been so long since I've built a craft just to do like a simple orbit.
I know, it's a concern, isn't it? And we're trying to do it to make sure that it's kind of like efficient as well. Those engines that you've got at the sides, are you thinking about bringing those back as well? The 3 engines that we've got mounted around the top.
Yeah, I was going to bring the whole lot back if I could.
All right.
Just for, cost effectiveness.
Yeah, if you're going to do it, it's just I'm concerned will it heat up that bottom bit. That's my only worry.
Yeah, it'd be fine. I thought you could pull these out a bit further.
Probably can. There probably is a way of doing it. A bit wonky, mind.
It's all about the aesthetics with you, isn't it?
Well, that helps. I mean, at the end of the day, I'm still nominally the designer of the Geordie space program. I like things to look nice. Doesn't matter if they work or not, or if they just sit on the runway and explode, frankly. Yep, that's alright. We've got parachutes on this thing.
Not yet.
Right.
We will do. Don't you worry.
Parachutes and the big legs. That's what I want to see.
The big legs.
Aye. Again, they're wonky.
Just want to make sure they're going to... Yeah,
They're fine, aye. Biggest legs in Christendom. Nice.
There we go, big legs, and you said you wanted some parachute. I don't know why you'd want parachutes, but if the man wants parachutes, the man can have parachutes.
Man wants parachutes. There we go. And we'll need to put those little LV1s on as well.
Yeah, I've got the LV1. And you suggested...
See if see if they'll attach to those. 2, 3.
That's right. Yeah, just making sure that looked all neat and tidy and whatnot.
It doesn't really matter how they're mounted as such, does it? If you hold Alt, it'll jump onto the blue parts in theory, if it can.
It'll not, like...
Gits. But what on earth are you supposed to mount them on, then?
We're going to need one of the Ickle fuel tanks, I think. Where are the Ickle fuel tanks?
Back of one. There they are, bottom in the middle. I put 3 of them on and see if we can... Yeah, that's nice. Yeah.
It's not sticking.
Oh, hey. Game, you're getting in the way of science here. Just put them at the top, it's fine. That'll do. And then chuck them on underneath if you can. Ah, you likes that. There, and that'll give her that little bit extra when we're coming back down.
I better structure all them up a bit.
Aye, I like it.
Just in case. Right, let's get the staging done. So, these engines want to be in stage 1, along with the structural girders.
Are you sure that's going to be enough fuel at the bottom to get it going? I'd maybe put some solids
these are
on.
firing at the same time.
Aye. I'd maybe put around the bottom just to kind of get we're going. I'd maybe put like some decouplers on around the sides, like the radial ones, and then maybe get like some solids or something on as well, just to give her that little bit of poke when we get started.
Okay, I can do.
You know, that's a fair bit of fuel we've got at the top end. It's going to be a bit of a wonky rocket to control because all the weight's going to be up towards the top as well. So it's going to be a little bit jumpy, this one, I think, when you're flying it. So, you know, just watch out for that, I suppose.
And then we go before they test.
All right.
Doesn't matter, they can test at the same time, can't they?
I think everything can test sort of if we get up into the high 80s.
And it's that stack separator. Also, we'll have to be in orbit before we release that stack separator. I forgot that.
No, that sucks.
So we'll have to achieve our orbit before we can throw anything away.
Oh, well, that's not going to happen with what we've got here, then.
I think it will.
We're probably better off... let's have a think of this. We could actually... I'll tell you what we can do.
I think we should just launch this and see if it works.
No, that's a waste of time. What we need to do is those little LV1 engines, can we not put the stack separator that we want to test underneath those, just so it's sitting on the bottom? Nah, too big for it. Balls. Pop them on the top.
Bearing in mind though, the force goes both ways, so it might tear them off the rocket.
Well, that's more fun than just putting something up and then it gets to about 20,000 feet and falls apart.
And we'll just put a standard decoupler there.
Oh, God.
But a smaller one.
A smaller one. Right. Then see, I'm concerned that there's a fair bit of fuel there, but I think it's going to be quite a heavy rocket.
I don't think it's that heavy. Bear in mind we're using the small components for everything.
Alright, then give it a go. We can easily come back and strap some solids on if it doesn't work first time. Who have we got flying this bad boy?
We haven't sorted that out yet. I'm just making sure I've got everything going on. So that goes there. What's that?
It's the bits at the top, the stacked couplers. Oh no, they're structural pylons by the looks of it. Can't be right.
That's that one.
Looks as though...
That goes there. Then there's the structural pylons, so we'll test them and then we'll shoot everything off.
I was going to say, it looks as though actually what might end up happening, I would move those the structural pylons down onto that 800 tank that you've got behind the cockpit. Because it looks as though when you fire those blue and white stack decouplers, the ones we're testing, if they go in both directions, the force might rip those structural pylons off.
We're firing them at the same time.
Oh, well, that's fine then. We'll just have a nice little firework display outside the cockpit.
Right, I'm a little concerned about the staging because it doesn't seem quite right to me. What's this? That's that engine. We'll put that there then.
Alright.
Actually, no, we won't. We will put it there.
It's a bit jacked up, this, but we'll figure it out as we go along. Space Monkey's embryo. We've had Space Monkey. We've had Space Monkey's baby.
Space Monkey.
Monkey.
Monkey's embryo.
And who's flying it? Whoa, whoa, whoa. Don't even get any bright
Don't mess
ideas
with the
about
flag.
changing the flag.
Don't mess with the flag. It's on.
It's on again. Got one little test pilot going here.
It's on. He's
Nice.
doing a good job.
Well, Jeb did the last one, although it should have been hers on.
Right, so I'm aiming for somewhere between 80 and 85.
Slightly more, actually, aiming for about 88. I suppose the thing is, though, if you end up getting a nice elliptical orbit, you know, so we've got a full range of motion, so it might start at 80 at the periapsis and the apoapsis might be at 100. We will pass the distances that we need.
Not enough fuel.
Aye. Well, that was me concern.
It was your concern, and you did say it, and I ignored you. Thinking, you don't need a big ship to get into orbit. Done it millions of times.
Just trying to actually, you know, give you the advice. That's all. I felt as though it was going to be quite a heavy rocket. Yeah, there's no
it
way you were
clearly
going to
is.
make an orbit with that. Even putting solids on the bottom's probably not going to be a huge amount. Remember to try and bring it back down in one piece if you can, because it's just wasted money if we don't. That's probably not the most optimum way of bringing something back down in one piece to fire it at full throttle
Just
towards the mountains.
Speeding it up so that our beloved audience don't get bored.
I know where you're coming from. But still, I mean, it is of a concern.
Could have done with some more parachutes, really.
Yeah, this is going to be quite heavy. I'd put the legs out.
Oh, I definitely need to fire that bit off. Otherwise, the legs aren't gonna be worth anything, are they?
Ooh. Well, it's an interesting state of affairs, I grant you. It's quite a nice rocket, though. I do like the way the structural pylons just sit on the outside there.
It doesn't want to point up. There we go.
That'll be fine.
I'm sure it will be.
Back to the drawing board. What are we going to do to make this better?
Add more fuel and rockets.
Well, yeah, that's always one set to everything, but I think you're right on that one.
I'm going to stick another layer under these three.
It's exactly what I was thinking. I like where you're coming from.
It's coming down quite fast.
It is. But you've got fuel. You can...
Yeah, I'll have to do a little
Aye.
correction burn. Get it under 10.
It's not so much a correction burn as a try not to die burn. That's fine. Perfect. Whew.
Okay,
Right.
let's recover. Didn't cost me too much.
I hope not.
And we'll get most of it back. Yeah,
But,
we got 19,000 back. How much did it cost? That's the big question. I think it was about 25. There we go.
So it cost me $5,000 for that little test, which isn't too bad, really.
Right,
All
so
right.
we'll want another one of them under them.
Alright, strut them.
Strut them up.
You know what I'd probably do as well?
Solids?
Yeah, get the solids on. Get the old radial decouplers on the sides. Aye. And then, you know what I'd probably do? I'd probably even use the big ones if I'm honest. Because I don't mess around.
They're going to need to come out because they'll get in the way of the legs otherwise.
Alright. Make sure we've got some pretty decent struttage going on because that's going to be wobbly as all heck.
It will. It will, and we will. So you want the big bad boys. These
Yeah,
ones.
I mean, why do it in half measures, frankly? If something's worth doing, it's worth doing very big and fast and dangerously.
Absolutely. I agree with you 100%. So, where's my struttage? Structural, struttage.
Aye. That makes, oh, didn't like that.
Didn't like that.
Aye, get them on the side.
There we go.
Cool, and then I'd probably get some like between the gantries that we've got sticking out the side of those 800s and the main body of the rocket as well.
The gantries that we have sticking out
The
the
little
side.
girder bits, I forget their name, the stupid square bits, the
Oh, these,
rectangles.
the girders?
Aye. And then attach those to the 800 rockets.
You don't need to attach them with struts.
You'd make us feel better if you would, just because these things are the blow quite hard. These things.
They do, but the girder is a structural part. It's designed for that. You're just adding more structure to the structure.
All right. I'll point out. I was the one that said we needed more fuel, and if this thing wobbles, I'm gonna gloat all over your face.
Oh, it's gonna wobble. I've no doubt about that.
Yeah, but wobbling's a bad thing. Remember, flapping about in space, bad thing. The less something wobbles and flaps, the better we can do. But anyway, right.
I got that. That's a 3, so it needs to go to this bit here. These side bits are probably be the first to go, I would think.
Welcome to Geordie Space Program, where you can hear two people mumble to themselves incoherently for 5 minutes.
And then we'll do a sciencey stage, and then we've got a parachute at the top, and we need more parachutes. We know we need more parachutes.
Aye, needs more parachute.
Needs more shootage. Where's the shootage gone? Are they? They've been bumped over to page 2.
Aye, just all over the place, frankly. You cannot have too many of them.
Right, I think the staging's fine. We'll let us on off this time. How about Handbean?
I wanted to say an edible.
Edible.
The edible Kerbin.
The edible Kerman.
Right.
Right.
Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed. Do you think I should fire the solids on their own and then go to the liquids, or do you want the liquids and the solids going together? Anytime you like.
Hit space and see what happens.
Well, if I hit space, everything's going to go at once.
I'll tell you what. Yeah, get those solids firing to start with
Just
and
the
see how we're
solids.
doing. Aye. Yeah, that's getting moving. That'll
It
be
is getting
alright.
moving. I really should have put some batteries on this.
Yeah, but what are you gonna do?
We should be alright. It'll be a quick orbit, then back down again.
Aye, and we haven't got any WUS engines, so when we're firing engines on this, it's recharging its energy.
Absolutely. We
So-
just have to make sure we don't do anything
Aye.
silly.
That's that's not bad. That it looks actually looks a little bit like one of the craft on Civilization Beyond Earth. It's got that kind of feel to it, nice sort of triangular with the nice sort of struts around the side.
I think
You know,
it's quite pretty.
If Sid Meier is watching this, and I'm reliably informed that he does, you might want to take this for maybe some DLC for
Yeah, I mean,
So,
he's
yeah, I mean,
welcome
what-
to it. I don't even want paid for it. It's fine.
right, you can buy you a pint. It's the
Yeah.
least you can do.
Well, we'll be seeing him on Thursday, won't we? Buy
Aye.
a pint on
Down
Thursday.
at the old ship.
See you on Thursday, Sid.
Right.
Um,
So, starting to get ready. You getting ready to just tickle your throttles up?
I am.
I'd probably just do it now, if I'm
Open
honest.
it up nice and...
Get them going now, just so there's a continuation of the fuel flow. Jesus, it bounced off the girder there. This isn't half as flappy as I thought it was gonna be.
No, it's not bad, is it?
It's handling all right from the looks of it. You get ready?
I didn't see how much it cost. Doing the gravity burn a little bit late, to be honest.
Yeah,
But-
we'll manage. We'll
Yeah,
manage.
This isn't an exact science. It's just rocket science.
It's just rocket science.
Just rocket science.
I mean,
We've got like, debris from various craft floating around there.
the thing is, I mean, they say all rocket science, and you'd think, oh, that's probably like the most precise science, but it's probably not. Quantum science is probably more important for the numbers than rocket science,
Yeah.
because it's much smaller. And when things are smaller, the numbers have to be right.
Not exactly brain surgery though.
Yeah, but quantum science,
Quantum surgery. That would be an interesting one.
brain surgery. What's that got to do with quantum science or rocket science? It's not brain science. It's brain surgery.
It's just my favourite joke. Whenever somebody talks about rocket science, you say, well, it's not exactly brain surgery, or vice versa.
I see. You're a funny guy.
Get
Get the engines firing.
Whoa!
That was nice.
That was
Give it a-
satisfying.
It
Rain
really
of
was.
death down there as well.
But we pushed it past the space centre as well, in theory. I hope we've got enough here for circularisation burn. I think we should.
be absolutely fine.
Oh, yeah, that's that.
Look at
We'll
that.
manage.
We've got that. We've got those little engines. I'm sure they'll be good.
Aye. Right,
We'll cancel
whoa.
because we don't want to go that high. We want to be about 85,000.
Yeah, but just push out your orbit to the other side, at around about that height. because we'll hit it at some point.
Oh,
What are you doing?
The debris is getting in the way of me attempting to put a manoeuvre node down.
Is that debris or is that a space station? It
No,
is debris, isn't it?
the space station's around there.
Yeah.
There's lots and lots of bits of shit floating around at the moment.
We'll get rid of that probably off camera after we finish the episode. Just tidy things up a little bit.
Your insistence on doing things off camera really messes with my
Wait, nobody
my
wants...
way of working.
Right, unless you're prepared to blow something up like a space station, nobody's bothered about debris, and it just gets in the way and it hacks me off. That's all I've got to say about that. Are we allowed to swear on Geordie Space Programme, or we're keeping the swearing down?
Fuck off, mate.
Get in! We can swear again! Love it! I've been trying to watch my my language for weeks and weeks and weeks. Are you going to bleep that?
I haven't decided yet. We're trying to keep things family friendly, but
Bollocks
to it. Now, don't do it too much.
Wait,
Because if you do it too much, then we're gonna have to mark our videos as adults only,
mature.
and that
For a
means that
mature
depending on
audience.
people's YouTube settings, if they haven't set it that way, then they might not see it or whatever. But for the most part, feel free to be as blue as you like.
I love it. Get in, get in, get in.
Right, it's going to be 33 second burn, so it'll be an absolute piece of cake, mate. Looks like we're going to make some money on this one,
Nice.
and then that'll be that, and
I'm
we're
like
going
a-
to focus on actually pushing the Geordie Space Programme onwards again.
I'll be honest, now that we've had this revelation that we're allowed to swear a little bit more, I'm like a kid on Christmas morning. I'm looking at all my presents and I'm not sure which one I want to use first. Do you know which one I'm going to use? And I'll just say it. Fanny jam.
Funny jam. Lovely.
It's usually what I'll say if I'd maybe trapped my finger in a car door or I stubbed my toe. It's a one that I'll kind of say when I'm in polite-ish company, but I can still swear a little bit. You know, I can get much worse.
I know you can get much worse. I've seen you after a skinful.
Speaking of which, actually, if anybody was looking at Facebook over the past week or so, you'll have seen that at time of recording. Actually, this episode, I'm a little bit hungover this morning. I started drinking some wine last night, and then I started playing Red Orchestra, and I was playing online.
Oh, Red Orchestra. Fantastic.
I'm terrible at it, but I do like hopping into it every now and again. Although I've noticed nobody seems to play any of the Rise and Sun maps anymore, or the Rise and Storm, sorry.
Oh, that's a shame, because I thought the Rise and Storm ones...
I really like them,
really
but
interesting.
everybody seems to always play the Eastern Front stuff, like the proper Red Orchestra ones. But I jumped on last night, and for being quite drunk at the time when I started playing, I'd had nearly a bottle of wine. I was doing alright, so I thought I'm going to stick with it. So I was having a good old time on that last night.
Just to clarify what I'm doing, because we need to be at around about 85,000, I'm bringing us up to the periapsis, and then once we get the periapsis, we get to do all of our scientific experimentation.
You can bring up the tab on the right hand side and look at all the contracts to see which ones are ready to go.
You can. So, I mean, that's ready to go. That's not quite ready. No, don't want that one. That's not quite ready yet. Hang on, why is it saying the altitude's not right? The altitude is right.
We have got a full orbit as well.
Maybe it's not just that point of your orbit, maybe your entire orbit has to be like that. In which case I can sort it out when we get the periap. Oh no, there we go.
Nice, well,
That one's ready.
get testing.
That one's ready.
That's ready.
They're
Slow
all ready.
down.
All three of them are ready.
Fire everything off. Right, I'm looking forward to this bit. I hope we can see all right at home there. It is on the dark side.
Why isn't that one being done? That was the LV1 engine.
You might have to just fire them a touch.
I may have completely. What is that going there? Is that part of the chip flying off?
Yeah, you fired off the.
I may have accidentally pressed the space button a few too many times there,
Look
but
at
it worked. It worked out perfectly, didn't
Look
it?
It was your face, you hit it, and then there was a little tiny explosion, and you kind of pursed your lips and then hit more buttons. It's like, I imagine a pyrotechnic if he was left with like the buttons to a firework display. Just
You know
whoa,
what
that
happens
happened.
with me?
I'm going to hit it more.
When I panic, I start hammering the space bar button.
Now, have we tested everything here?
Yeah, everything's successful.
I don't think we've tested the LV1. Right click on them and just do the manual test.
No, you're right, the LV1's gone. Yeah, let's run test. There we go.
Nice.
Fantastic. Successful. What the hell? Oh, I am terrible at this game.
As soon as we're done recording, I'm going to have to watch that back. That was brilliant. Oh. Right, get my back down. In one piece, preferably.
Yeah, absolutely, mate. Spin us around the wrong way, I think. Yeah,
Right.
that's the pro access.
Edible Kerman, you're
Back
now a
around that.
legend in Geordie Space Programme for your little pyrotechnics here. If we ever need stuff blown up, he's my man. Alright? Remember that.
Right, let's bring her back down, preferably on land.
Aye, and on the light side. Aim for that. Aye, stop there and see if we can get down on that little peninsula. If you don't mind.
If I want to hit that peninsula, I think we're going to have to come out a bit more. But I can try, mate. I can try for you. You know, it's not my forte, precision landing.
To be honest, anywhere we can come down on the light side.
Precision anything isn't my forte.
Wait, no, I mean it's just rocket science. You should see what he does with the brain as well, viewers. I bring it down just somewhere light on land, please.
I'll try and bring it down, yeah.
Light and dry, that's what I want.
I haven't got enough fuel to really push it out any further, so we'll aim for that little peninsula and I'll see what I can do.
Aye.
I'd be very surprised if I successfully hit land.
Yeah, that's one thing we're really not very good at doing, is working out exactly where we're going to be coming down, are we?
I mean, I can generally aim for a continent and hit the right continent.
9 times out of 10, we can't hit the right planet.
Sometimes we hit it a little too fast.
Yep, sometimes we miss it entirely. But, you know, it's just what we do.
We're on the light side now, so we'll be sound, mate.
There's plenty of YouTubers out there, if you want to watch people who can land where they want to be.
That's what we've always said.
Aye.
Yeah. If you want to watch people who know
that.
how to play the game well, there's plenty of them out there, but there's not that many playing it really, really badly, and that's where we find our niche.
To be honest, there's a few people that do, but they play it so badly that it's not even... Well,
I love those little engines firing up on the side. Just looks like steam escaping.
I was going to say there, but it sounded a bit harsh and I didn't mean it that way. I was going to say there's people that play it worse than us and it's so bad that I can't watch it. But, you know, I didn't want to name and shame or anything.
That's going to be perfect. Oh, look at them, they're so cute.
They're sort of the wussiest of the wuss engines. Whoa!
The engine's sparking out there when I cut it. It's because there's no fuel in them.
Oh, that's quite nice
But
actually, the little
they're still
spark
firing.
effect.
Yeah, I don't think it used to do that.
No. They've the last update did do a little bit with the explosion graphics and what have you. It's put some nice particles in and what have you. No, I don't like that little wobble. Well,
Yeah.
that's not so much a wobble, that's careering out of control at
Yeah,
many
it's
hundreds of miles
putting
an
us
hour.
down the wrong way first, but it'll be fine once we put the parachutes out.
Get the legs out.
Get the legs out. Parachutes as well?
Aye, I think that makes sense. Have we been to the desert yet?
I don't know. No, not EVA. Crew report.
You just be very careful with them buttons.
Flying over Kerbin's Desert. We haven't got a flying report from Kerbin's Desert.
It's probably a little bit too high to hop out and I didn't want to risk edible. He's instantly became one of my favourites. If I had a spare orange jacket, I'd be tempted to give him it from that little display with the fireworks going off.
Those engines are pathetic. I've never really created a tiny little probe before, which I presume is what they're used for, tiny little probes that you can sort of send out and buzz around. If attach like a few of them to the space station, it might be quite cool.
Yeah. If we sent up send something up and dock to it and it's just covered in probes.
Little probes, and we could send the probes around.
Yeah, because they're way next to nothing, so you'd think in theory it wouldn't take much to actually get them going very fast off in certain directions. Although knowing our luck would end up just firing them off at random, and then they'd end up just like a swarm of angry bees flying around the planet.
Just out of interest, we're going to a steady 8.6. Yeah, it slows me down a bit.
Where's the fuel for them? I mean, there's...
It's not shown, which I think is interesting. And you can see that the fuel does exist.
It does, but I mean, it only sips, and they're tiny engines, or tiny fuel tanks, and it's only just sipping at them.
It is.
That's not bad.
But they're designed to be used with even smaller fuel tanks, the specific drone
I love
parts,
the
you
fact
know.
as this rocket's coming down, there's just random showers of sparks just emerging from it. If there was a better analogy for Geordie Space Programme, I'm yet to see it. That's a rocket. Routine test flight. That looks quite nice. How do you do that?
I'm just turning the engines on and off and on and off and on and off in extremely quick succession.
That's a very edible thing to do. Good old edible curving. Oof. I think, maybe... No, you didn't break a leg. Right, turn it all off. Nice.
Let's get out and do an EVA. And then...
And then get back in. Aye.
That counts as flying. I'll get back in. As you say, I'm not sure if we have been in the desert, so let's just get him out and we'll take
I was just going to say he's quite high up. What have you done? Edible! No! I cannot believe you. I cannot believe you. Why do you face plant Kerbals into the desert?
I thought it'd be okay.
I told you it wouldn't. When we're in space, I said, when you come down, don't get any bright ideas of getting out the ship and trying to get the soil because he's too high up. Edible.
I'm sorry.
The brightest flame burns in the quickest time. That's all I've got to say. You'll never be forgotten, Edible. Usually I'll dance and cheer when Kerbals die. I'll not this time. I will mourn you. Right, you're shaving your beard off. Shave your beard off and mourning for Edible.
I will shave my beard off.
Right. Okay.
I will shave my beard off.
You will.
For Edible.
I'll not.
He's a hero. We only made 200 grand out of that, but it's enough to fund a mission to Minmus or the Mun. We've got plant flag on the Mun. That's worth 68,000. Science data from space around the Mun. That's worth 64,000. So how about we do a Mun mission next?
I think that sounds pretty good, but I think that's going to be time for a new video, really, isn't it?
It will. What we'll do is we'll accept the contract so we don't forget about them.
Cool.
And we'll come back and we'll do another Mun mission next week. Try and make it interesting, bring some science back.
That sounds cool. Very good. And now, well, goodbye, Edible.
Goodbye, Edible, and goodbye, YouTube. Thank you very much for watching today. Hope you've enjoyed the video.
Do all the liking and subscribe. I'm crushed with grief. Goodbye.
Gonzo's
YouTube.
crushed. I'm going to go and console him with a nice manly hug. A nice beardy manly hug for the last time in a while since I'm going to have to shave my beard off.
Nice.
I'll do a before and after pic. Stick them on the Facebook channel if you want to see my before and after pic. I will have to obscure my face for legal reasons, but I'll keep the beard there. If you want to see a before and after beardy Ewok pic, go to www.facebook.com/GonzoEwok. Thank you very much for watching.